is up, everybody, boys and girls? How are you? Welcome back to Welcome back to Kick Flips and Kickstands.
Killips and Plap-Plops.
And that's playing again. I forgot that it does that. The only podcast barely bringing you both skateboarding and motorcycle content.
Yeah.
Shit. I don't know.
We do. I mean, well, you crank out a lot of content.
Well, we'll get to that.
Episodes is a whole different story. Though.
Yeah. Well, the episodes we care about. The other stuff, it's just because you got it.
It's just to drive you to the episodes.
Yeah. How are you, my dude? Where are my manners, dude? I, as always, am Danny, joined by our fabulous co-host, co-anchor, musician extraordinaire, intro music maker, Grayson, everybody.
Hi. Oh my gosh, the fanfare.
You get the fucking air horns, my dude.
I gotta keep one of those on me just so I can do that when I enter rooms.
I would love to just like walk into the DMV like, everyone look around like, what the fuck? And then just go back to waiting. How are you, my dude? What's new with you?
I'm good, man.
It's been a while.
I'm thinking back to the episode we did with Brandon, aka Brand New, about overextending yourself and learning to say no to stuff because I am overextending myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for you. That episode's brought to you on season 2 of our podcast if you haven't listened to it. So yeah, I do. I like. I feel you on that one. Yeah. So what do you got going on? How many wicks are lighting and how many candles are burning at both ends?
I work 40 hours a week.
Tight. I remember my first part-time job. Am I right?
Yeah, I work with our little guy friend Josh Britt.
Everyone's favorite Josh Britt, our guy on the couch.
Mm-hmm. And I also started doing school.
Oh, and that's fucking nerd.
Yeah, school continues to suck. I thought it'd be different with an adult perspective, but nope. And so I could do that. That is somewhat part-time. And then my little band, we just hit the road for the first time, went into the Dallas area all around.
I was going to ask, because I saw all the dates that you played back to back to back. That was the longest little stint with this band that you've done?
It's the first time we've had to pack up and leave home.
Okay.
And yeah, we've done that many dates in a row before, but this was the first time we had to think about where we're going to stay.
Yeah.
And new places, new people kind of thing. So, but it was good. It was a good experience. I'm glad I did it. But yeah, don't make me do anything else.
Yeah. So now, musically, what do you have your eyes on? Is there anything that you want to do different? Start a side project or?
I'd love to. It is all figuring out time management at this point.
Sure. Obviously, you're not going to add another band.
Yeah. But hopefully my next classes will be from home rather than going on campus. So that being said, I would love to I would like to do a little side project. I don't know what that looks like yet. I do know.
What are your bandmates going to think of this right now? Also, I kind of trapped you.
No. They think it's fine. I'm pretty open about this because I certainly, me and my friend Elijah in the band definitely have the more eclectic music taste. Okay. So I want to do something you can dance to. Okay. I want to do something. I've been listening to a lot of jungle. I think everyone has.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not saying that's what I'm going to do, but shit like that. I want to expand my horizons a little bit. Try some stuff.
It's a distant relative, but you can to jungle, but you can do ska. Just.
Yeah. I've already released 16 ska albums, so I think it's a little overplayed.
Okay, and each one of them is 37 songs each.
Yeah, and about 6 minutes long each because they're so fast.
Yeah, I can pick it up, dude. Okay, so So something a little jungle. Okay.
Yeah, I've been a guitar player for such a long time. I want to challenge myself not to use the guitar so much to make music. Okay. You know what I mean? So MIDI controller.
You played drums too, right?
Yeah. Well, so yes, I played drums not professionally, but I got paid to play drums ish for 10 years.
For the church, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was I almost put in that little ad read that we did at an undisclosed date. I put so you spread the word. Oh. I was gonna put spread the good news.
Oh, I'd have been all for that
because that's the gospel,
I've been
brother.
Spreading the good news all my whole life.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know what the gospel actually is. It's just spreading the good news.
Yeah,
you can technically spread the gospel about anything as long as it's good news.
It's true. Yeah.
Okay, so have you seen that? I asked that guys. Have you seen that? It's on YouTube. That series, Drumeo, where they have.
I've seen a bunch of Drumeo videos.
Have you seen like the ones where they get like just like ex drummer from this band and they listen to this song for the first time?
Oh yes, I have seen those.
Oh my god! I recently went down that rabbit hole. It's so fucking good.
My favorite drum content I've seen is people putting drums on music that should not have drums to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like either big orchestral music or really gnarly metal drums over a T Swift song.
Yeah, or when
Love
people
that.
just like scat drum to like scenes from like Always Sunny, you know?
Or they'll watch something like high drama, like really intense emotion, and then start playing like an 808 drum machine.
Yeah,
Love
that shit's so good.
Yeah.
Tight. Okay. All right. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Little jungle project.
You
some-
were in band growing up, right?
I was in like fucking marching band in high
Sure.
school, and then I got more into like the orchestral thing. But that was tight, yeah. And it was like percussion, like
And y'all have all
fucking
kinds of weird drums. and
timpani.
stuff.
Oh yeah, like
Timpani,
I
see?
love timpanis, but like the weirdest shit
Yeah.
was my favorite is like brake drums because people are like, "What's a brake drum?" Like it's literally a fucking a brake drum from a car.
Oh.
And you just get different sized ones, so they make different tones.
that's cool.
And it's like, I mean, it's not in like every fucking classical
Sure.
piece, but there's like some movements where like that fucking measure or bar basically is like, oh, it's got to sound like a fucking cat falling down the stairs. So it's like this really like German abstract piece.
Yeah.
So you just like run some brass mallets down some fucking brake drums. Like, what the fuck was that?
See, dude.
And that's a part that you have to practice.
Yeah. And here's the cat falling down the stairs.
You'll get like a fucking 2 measure solo with this abstract thing that just makes like a rickety or some kind of noise. But if you're not fucking in tune with the piece that you're playing, then those 2 measures are fucking silent or you're off. Like,
Right. I smell a collab because those sounds sound cool. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean,
No, I'm not doing any of that shit.
I don't want to brag, but I'm Rick Rubin.
Fuck, dude. What are we doing this
Yeah.
for? Well, that's tight.
Yeah. So music's cool. Do music, listen to it.
Oh, what happened there? Oh, I just fucking. Oh, it's because I brought up another program. I wanted to keep it off because it's so bright. Oh, you know
We
what
got
I
to
can
do a rig rundown on you sometime.
Yeah, it's getting pretty hectic.
I mean, people watching and listening can't see this, but this is a NASA command center.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. I mean, Heather and I don't have kids, so
So you have gear.
so yeah, I have gear and like I have. I mean, I think about this shit, and then I think about like what I invested in all my like little fucking tchotchkes and gear.
Yeah.
And then I think of like everyone with like a panhead out there, and I'm like, well, I'm not even fucking scratching the surface of that.
Everyone's got their thing.
Yeah.
Just pick your thing. Oh my gosh.
Ooh,
what a
that was
horrible.
cool. No, we should.
Someone sample that.
I'll clap on the track to sample that.
But
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just like I like it. It's like fucking. I like that kind of shit. I don't know, like
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
bikes and electronics.
I mean, that's what anyone who's like scoff at like, oh, you put a bunch into your gaming PC or blah blah blah, or you like, oh, you invest in your car. What's your thing, bud? What are you putting money into?
Well, and then like it's funny you bring that up because like I built this computer and then I got all this sound equipment, and I still probably have less than, or I probably have as much as like a fucking like a whatever the Mac
Yeah.
Studio, like the desktop fucking king dingling Mac
Totally.
is.
Yeah.
I probably haven't even spent that much.
Oh,
What are
sure.
those, like 4,500?
Yeah,
or some
it's-
shit.
it's a lot.
Yeah, I don't have that. I have maybe half of that and everything, but I do everything from this shit.
That's what I mean. From what you've been telling me throughout this process is like it doesn't actually take that much to get going. It's just if you really want to spice some things up, there's some like toys to get here and there.
Yeah,
but
it's just like
the base of it is like very attainable.
yeah, and it's just researching that shit
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube. Like it's all there.
Totally.
And I don't know, like if this shit takes off, that'd be cool. Or like, I can fucking. We were talking about we can go live stream church services.
Yeah, exactly.
And fucking.
This is a video production company.
That's what I'm saying. Charge couple few bucks to spread the good news.
Yeah,
Put the
dude.
gospel
Hell
out there,
yeah,
brother.
That's right.
Oh my gosh! All right, well, Speaking of fucking gear, so listen to this fucking story. I get this little camera. So me and the homie Mike over at Red Rabbit, shout out Red Rabbit. He's actually going to be a guest on this season later on. I got to remember the order that we're recording these.
Yeah.
So we're got an episode coming out with him, but we went out with this little like action camera that I got, and this isn't a fucking ad. It's not sponsored, but I do want to tell you the story of how I got this camera.
The mic picked that up.
It did. That was like a guttural. That one came from the fucking bottom, from the depths. So I ordered this little thing on Amazon to try it out, and I was like, oh, if it sucks or if I don't like it, I'm just going to send it back.
Sure.
It gets lost in transit for like 2 days. And I call Amazon. I'm like, yo. And it was supposed to come to my house, but it said that a delivery was attempted not in my city, in like the next city over. So I'm like, that's weird. And because of how much it is, like you have to put a code before they drop it off. So I got on the little fucking chat with Amazon. I was like, yo, it says that this was attempted to be delivered one city over, and I never got the code. So they were like, oh, just see what happens tomorrow. Not, they didn't say see what happens tomorrow. They're like, contact us tomorrow if
They're like, tough shit, loser.
That's the Amazon fucking person. I would be like, oh, just see what happens by tomorrow.
It was actually Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're very professional about it. They're like, oh, just contact us tomorrow and we'll see what we can do.
Give them a chance. Yeah.
Next day comes by, nothing. So I contact them like they told me to, and they refund me my money. So I'm like, okay, cool. Didn't really need the camera anyways. A day or two after that, the camera is on my doorstep.
Hey.
I logged in my Amazon. I'm like, did they resend one out and recharge me? Nope. I checked, like, before I opened the box for that camera, I would wake up for like 2 or 3 days. I'd wake up, check my bank account, and make sure that the money was still there.
Hey,
and
free
so
camera.
I think that it was probably a chat bot that helped me.
Yep.
And I think that they maybe, I don't know, hit return or like replenish and refund.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't fucking know.
Oh, hey.
But so this isn't a sponsored ad, but it was a free camera. And
yeah, they sent us this for free. Blah, blah, you know.
And you know,
basically a sponsorship if you think about it.
Sure. As much as I
little do they know.
As much as I want to say I disapprove of Jeff Bezos and
sometimes you
whatnot,
fucking
but
hit the jackpot.
I'm still fucking using Amazon, so until the solar flares take the internet out, brother.
Hey, all that shit's still in those warehouses.
Oh, so yeah. And that's the other thing I checked. I actually went in and checked who it was sold by, because I was like, if this was sold by like a mom and pop photo shop,
Sure.
then I'm going to send it back.
Yeah.
But it says sold by Amazon, so I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
Like now I care so much less.
Money, please.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I mean, we went out and shot with it. It was great. It's like, it's got a tiny little body for the camera, and it's magnetized, so you could fucking put it anywhere on a bike, especially if you're on an old bike where everything's fucking
rattly
metal.
Oh, metal, yeah.
And then you could stick it almost anywhere on that bitch. But yeah, also rattly, because I have a couple mounts that are like these camera mounts that I have in the home studio that I just clamped onto the side of a bike, and like it worked. But then like as soon as like the real vibration kicked in, it just started moving around. Yeah. So now I got to get some mounts. But hey, I didn't invest in the camera technically, so I can get a couple goodies for it.
That's very cool. And
just churn out fucking video content.
The free camera might have just bought you another angle if you did want to buy another camera. You know what I mean?
For sure. Oh yeah. And it gets crazy angles because of how tiny it is, and fucking you can just stick it anywhere. Yeah. It's dope. But I got it basically for social media. Like I'm not gonna fucking beat around the bush on that, because the other thing is what you mentioned. I've been making some memes.
You have.
I've been fucking just churning them out.
Turned into a spicy meme boy.
Oh, it's so easy though.
Yeah.
So like, and here's the thing: I've heard on other like chopper podcasts, because I listen to all of them. You know, I like to see what's going on out there. And mostly, if we ever have like a guest that's already been on another show, I don't want to give you all, which is the audience, the same exact. Like, I don't want you to listen to this podcast that has such and such on it that was on so and so's podcast, and you just get the, like, I dig all those other podcasts. Like, I'm not throwing shade here. I'm just trying to provide a slightly different. And I know there's going to be some crossover. Like, we're going to be like, well, how'd you get into bikes?
Right.
Obviously, everyone wants to know that. But
what are we going to not ask that?
Right. Exactly. But no, I just, I've been fucking not even grinding away. Like some people were just saying that like, it's like you're wasting so much time, and it's like it's really it's regurgitated chopper jokes over TikTok memes. Like I see the meme on TikTok, and then right there it says
The
click to use the template, and then I just put like, and it's the same. I forget who. I think like Trevor at Rathbone DM'd me, and he was like, it's like the same 5 memes. I'm like, it's the same 2 backgrounds even.
You're like, you have no idea, brother.
It's like you have no. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like some people are under the impression that like, I'm not just saying me, but like people that make memes, and it could be true too. But like some people think that like people are taking like, oh, this guy's fucking taking hours out of his day just to like make a joke about me, and it's just like, hey, I'm not making a joke about you. I'm making a joke about all of us.
And somewhere in there, it already basically exists. I have to switch a couple words around.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but it's been hilarious. But like, I don't want to do this. I want to make like really dope fucking podcast episodes and like do some really cool like video edits with someone's fucking dope ass bike. But it's a proven concept. Like I've been doing that for like a month and a half now, posting like 1 a day. Yeah. Just when like, it's like literally takes me less than a cigarette break from like idea, do it, post it, and then just fucking go away from the phone. And like, I mean, the first like 2 years of the podcast with the Instagram, I was fucking trying to get followers. I did like fucking a couple paid. Yeah. Like I boosted some posts. Nothing. Like absolutely nothing. And like 2 years of grinding to get like, and I'm not saying that it's all about fucking followers.
No,
but if I want to get more ears on the podcast, then you do need more followers.
It's tastier and more fulfilling when you do a podcast and people listen to it.
Yeah, like the whole like I like number go up. Like,
oh, I love number go up.
yeah, big number good.
Almost every number in my life I can think of, I want to go up.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, so yeah, I just started doing it just as a fucking joke, and it fucking caught on like wildfire, and in a month and a half went from 400 and like fucking 50 followers to almost 3,000 followers.
That's crazy.
And now like it's fucking crazy. I was telling you before, I just wake up to like 80 followers, and then I go and look at the analytics on the actual podcast, and a fucking episode from like almost 3 years ago has like 30 listens. I'm like, okay, well, that's what I wanted people to listen to.
Right.
I don't want to fucking make bullshit memes all the time. But people aren't sharing the podcast. Yeah. People are sharing the shit out of the bullshit memes. Right. Like that's what, like I have like, and I want to say like 90%, 99% of people like just get the joke. But then I got some fucking kooks in the comment section, and I know I sound like I'm fucking crying about engagement.
Snappers.
But no, it's just like some people will like take it defensively and get aggro in the comments. And I'm like, brother, I don't care. I literally don't care. I posted this. It took me a minute to make, and then I walked away. Like it's a haha joke that you please, by all means, share it to your friends as a haha joke. Sure. But like, don't read into it at all. Because if you fucking do, then you're taking it too seriously. Totally. Like, now you are the meme. Like, if you get offended by the meme, you're it. Yeah. Like, it's like tag you're it. It's just
maybe
like,
introspect a little bit.
I don't like this. And I was like, well, why not?
That made me feel weird.
But it's just fucking proven, dude. Like it's getting more people to see the page, which is then driving more people over to the actual podcast. Yeah. Which, if it just never makes a single cent, it's been fun and I'll keep doing it. But if it starts to make some dollars, then we can make it better. Yeah. And fucking reach out and fucking do episodes with actual fucking people within these companies that we are talking about.
Yeah. Anyone that's like, oh, you're just trying to make money, aren't you? It's like, well,
yeah, kind of,
dude. Yeah. And like,
shit's expensive.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? You know, be like, why don't you just get a job you hate instead, like the rest of us?
Yeah. It's like, well, I have one of those, and I'm also doing this.
Yeah. Me nor you want to do that. So let's figure some stuff out.
I'm trying to get away from that.
Yeah.
If this is what takes me there, I'm not going to be like, nah, no, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's a silly, like, faux punk, like, mindset that I've seen people have that criticizing like, I mean, yeah, we're not gonna fucking like. Well,
I want to do it. Well, that's.
I was running through companies that we'd say no to. But
I want to do.
I was like a weapons manufacturer, huh?
I want to do it in a way that it like if it does make us money, rad, obviously, but we're still doing it within what we are passionate about.
Yeah,
like even like the whole like most of these memes have been motorcycle based. The first word in the fucking podcast is like we don't talk a lot about skateboarding a whole lot.
Sure.
But it's also because like I'm pretty far removed from it.
Yeah.
And like none of us actively skate.
Though I did just get insurance, so maybe I might start again.
That's the shit you got to think of though. And that's when we're coming back to like, oh, why do you want to make money off of this? It's like, well, I have to pay for my insurance.
Yeah.
So that I can continue and do some shit that I like.
Right.
Brother, if we can just trade goods and services 100%. And fucking live off of each other, then if you can figure out that route, cool. But until then,
yeah,
got to make some money.
Sure.
Shit's not getting cheaper.
Oh, I want to get one of those trikes or whatever, the 3-wheel thing. I can hear all of the guys going, well, actually, they actually flip over, blah, blah, blah.
We gotta get you on like a sick old BMW or Triumph with a sidecar.
Oh yeah, dude.
So you got it's like a trike, but way sketchier.
Yeah,
because it's not as balanced. It's never near as balanced. You got to lean into that bitch a little different.
That's probably something I'd actually get good at. I'd be like the first freestyle motocross on a fucking motorcycle with a sidecar.
I think they do like dirt racing and shit with that, with jumps and shit. Yeah, it's fucking wild. And like road racing.
You know what? Actually, I was about to ask a dumb question. I was going to ask, why don't they put like more sidecars on a motorcycle? And I was like, that's a car. I'm essentially, they probably started doing that.
There's like two motorcycles with a house in between it.
They're like, we should put a roof over it and enclose all of it. I'm like, wait a second.
That's a car.
Damn.
Yeah. No, but there's like some scooters and bikes that have like a canopy over them.
Sure.
Like,
yeah. I mean, how much cover do you need for it to essentially not be a motorcycle anymore?
Oh, well, it's not about the cover. It's about how many wheels.
Okay. But in that case, is a motorcycle with 2 sidecars, one on each side, just a car then? I guess it's just a convertible, right? But
wait. A motorcycle with 2 sidecars?
You got a sidecar on your right, sidecar on your left.
So it's technically it's 4 wheels.
That's what I'm saying. But
that would be atrocious to turn, dude.
You're driving with handlebars.
You couldn't turn it. I don't think the physics would allow it.
If you made the sidecar outer wheels turn, there's a lot of pulleys and levers in there.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Listen,
this is very fantastical.
I think we're talking about why this doesn't exist right now.
What was that animated Martin Scorsese movie where he tinkers with toys and stuff like that in a train?
Martin Scorsese movie
in a train station. Oh man, I wish I remember the name.
I thought
that was a good reference.
Do you mean Up?
No,
that's animated Martin Scorsese. the old guy
he's
from
not
Up.
Starring in it.
Sure, but no one's ever noticed that the old guy from Up is just Martin Scorsese.
It's just Martin Scorsese, yeah, for sure. And who knew he had such a so much devastating life?
Yeah. No, I did. He's still making fucking movies.
That's true.
Yeah. I think he said it. Like he's gonna like he's just that's all he's got.
Nice.
Like
sure.
Why stop? Like
he's like I'm thinking of getting into pole vaulting. Yeah, like, Martin,
what is he gonna do? Like
no.
He could probably crank out like 2 more.
Yeah. Oh sure. Yeah. 2 more big budget ones. How old is he even?
I don't even know. He's just a tiny human.
What if he's like 16?
Holy shit. He didn't do Benjamin Button. No. Yeah, too much CG for him.
Yeah.
I know he just like fucking spoke out about Marvel again. He was like talking about how we need to fucking like push the Christopher Nolans and like that again, like make more like that instead of Marvel movies. I'm like, again, man, it comes out to money. Even though those are fucking, they've been slacking.
Yeah.
The last 17 Marvel movies. I'm like, these are getting worse.
Yeah, there's like they're losing writers or something.
The last 17 they did fucking just last year.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been out of the superhero game for a minute, but boy, it is getting less and less appealing the more trailers I see for it. Yeah.
For sure. I'm like, this is the same story again.
Yeah. They're like, what if we did a Spider-Man origin story?
A 4th one? The other, so I wanted to get into a little listener mail segment.
Yeah.
So a couple weeks ago, again, we can do this shit now because we get enough of a response because
you're
of
here.
fucking memes.
Yeah. There's people in the room now.
So I posted one of my like sketchiest just fix it to get home stories. And then I asked the fucking page if they got any, and we got a pretty good response. So I thought maybe I'll just read through them.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just, this is funny to me because I've been there. Like, so, and I'll do these all anonymously, which I'd like to do this in the future too. And if you guys are down, let us know if you want it to be anonymously read or if you want us to shout you out. Someone said borrowed gas from a crackhead with a gas can.
Interesting.
So like a crackhead fucking just needed gas, and then some crackhead that had a gas can was like, here you go.
I mean, the oh shit moment when you see the crackhead with the gas can, you're like, no way.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a couple things that happen in your mind where you're just like, wow, like what are the odds? And you're like, oh, wait a minute.
You're like, first, is he approachable?
Should I smell inside of there?
Yeah. He's like, I mean, I was going to drink it, but you can have it.
All right. And someone said either holding fender off the tire with a hand or bent screwdriver and springer rocker due to lost bolt. Ooh. So like
holding the fender. What? So, I guess just not to.
So that doesn't, like rub against the tire because like the supports for it have broken. So
you're just driving like this.
Well, probably the rear fender, I would assume.
Still,
like if they're on a chopper, you just kind of right there. But then like. Where are your fingers, dog? Like, you better not slip. You better fucking keep that grip.
Yeah, you zone out for a second.
I would probably, I don't know, depending on what tools I had on me, I would just rip that fucking fender off.
Right. Yeah.
But, I mean, if you don't have the tool that you need on you, then you got to hold that bitch until you get home. And then fucking bent screwdriver and springer rocker due to lost bolt. That's insane. So, like, springer, as old listeners, you know this dynamic already. New listeners, welcome. Hi, we love you. Grayson doesn't know a lot about motorcycles, and my skateboard knowledge tapped out at like the late 90s, early 2000s. So that's our dynamic, and we're sticking to it. So Springer we're talking about front end. So it's not like forks. You have forks, and then you have like a Springer front, which is like, I can probably pull up a picture, but I don't feel like doing that right now. So that's basically a series of rods that fucking like articulate like this every time you hit a bump.
Oh, okay. It's not suspension, but it's like absorbing shock.
It's a form of suspension. It's just like a very much older form.
I see. Okay.
But it's all held together by nuts and bolts. So you lose one of those bolts, and you technically shouldn't ride it because it's apart. In a way, there's like a few main mounting points, and actually they're all main mounting points. So once you lose one of the bolts, you're kind of SOL. So this person just fucking stuck a screwdriver in it and like bent it, either U'd or fucking like down up on one end so that it wouldn't slip out from the vibration on the road, and fucking limp that bitch home.
That's so sketch.
So like what held your where nuts and bolts held your suspension together, that has failed. So now you just have a screwdriver.
Yeah. Better be a good ass screwdriver. If you bent it,
that's pretty fucking wild.
I don't reckon you already have a great screwdriver, right? Are screwdrivers pretty bendable, you know?
I mean, if you're
pissed
fucking
enough
on the side of the road and you got to get it done,
yeah.
That fucking that mother's strength comes out of you.
My baby.
Oh God! Someone else said used to have a sink drain plug for a gas cap.
That actually makes sense.
Like a rubber cork. Yeah, they just would cork it.
You know, you can call that a stylistic choice.
Someone else said Speedo in my pocket whilst still. This is one of our UK listeners.
Oh, right.
By the way, so we're fucking international, baby. Wrong button. Speedo in my pocket will still connected because the bracket snapped. So just like the bracket that holds your speedometer broke from the vibration.
Okay.
So they just shoved the Speedo in their pocket while it was still connected to the front wheel.
Okay.
So it's like in their pocket still reading how fast they're going. It's working. It's
like a pocket watch.
Yeah. Yeah, like a
very,
pocket watch.
very on brand for you guys.
That's great. A zip tie called Hopes and Prayers when my brakes gave out and handlebars gave up. So I'm assuming
The zip tie is the pulley cable kind of situation.
maybe, yeah, it's either the pulley
Yikes.
or they, because it said brakes gave out and handlebars gave up. So
No tension on the. I mean, I only know bike brakes, like bicycle brakes.
it's the same thing.
It's okay. So that's what I'm thinking. So like the thing.
It's the same thing but hydraulic. It's the
Oh.
same thing but hydraulic.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I don't know where the zip tie applies. Besides, literally you pulling on
So
a
I'm
zip
saying,
tie.
that's not, or like they lost a bolt again.
You
Someone
essentially
lost a
have-
bolt somewhere and then
Yeah.
replaced it with a zip tie.
I'm imagining reins like on a horse-drawn carriage.
Oh, we'll get to that shit. Electric tape the blown out gas line to limp it home. So like it's like a rubber, like a thicker than this cable, obviously. Like I forget how many gauge it is. And it gets like a split in it, but your fuel goes through it, and they just fucking electrical taped it. So like that's a race to get home, depending on how far you want, because the fumes and the
liquid,
gas
yeah.
will fucking eat like
Sure.
that. It's not gonna hold up to fucking gas
electrical
fumes.
tape.
Yeah, it's electrical tape.
Yeah.
Like, it barely holds up to what it has to do.
Yeah.
Another one: crack my gas tank and use some JB Weld to seal it and a bandana for cushion. That's a good one. I currently have a very hairline weep in my gas tank that I sealed it and it worked for a little bit, but then the seal gave out too. So I'm probably gonna have to replace my shit. But
I hear often about gas tanks cracking. How does
Yeah.
that happen? Is that just vibration?
vibration. Yeah, because you got to think like with choppers specifically, there's no rear suspension,
Right.
and the front suspension is either a Springer front end or it's like hydraulic fork suspension, but like not the best. It's not like fucking sport bikes that have like really nice shit. So yeah, there's a lot of vibration going on there. There's a lot of red Loctite that goes into some
Yeah.
stuff.
A lot of holes in it too.
Yeah. That was another zip tie called. Oh yeah, we did that one. Let's see. This is one. Buddy snapped his throttle cable 65 miles from home and rode up a mountain and home pulling the cable.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
which I reached out to this and was like, was it this? And it wasn't
Oh,
that case.
wow.
But yeah, so that's exactly what it sounds like. Like throttle cable snapped and you're however far from home and you have to figure out what to fucking lash it onto or just pull it manually from where it's coming out of to
make go.
to make go. Yeah, exactly. Someone said my cutting board chain guard. That's a good one. Which that one's not too crazy because like some like motocross and enduro bikes have like Delrin plastic for chain guards. Where it's basically like they just made a chain guard out of like cutting board material so that it doesn't slap and like hit anything important.
Okay. Sounds like it would fragment a lot if impacted.
Yeah, but they usually make it fucking. I'm not talking like thin cutting board. Like when they're on bikes, it's
Real
like
nice
pretty
and thick.
fucking thick. Yeah.
Still, though.
There's some car engines that have that as chain guides internally,
okay.
where it's like hard plastic, which it does give out over time, and in some of them it could be catastrophic. But yeah, it's gonna be fine.
I'm just a nervous Nelly. Everything on a bike sounds so like, oh, if that exploded, that would just fucking.
Nah, I mean, especially when it comes to these bikes, there's really nothing to them. Like it's
Yeah, it's
the whole fucking movement came from taking everything off,
and
So
you're
it's
just
like,
attached to it.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of like if you want to get into like the poetry or like what's beautiful about it, or it's just like
You're riding a beast.
well,
basically.
that and like on a long enough ride, like you start to kind of like certain drones and like sounds kind of go away,
Yeah,
and you
become
start to
one.
hear
Yeah.
what's going on. Yeah, like if you ride like an old Harley or old Triumph or old fucking any really old bike, they're so mechanical that like at some point in a long ride, you start to tune out all the other distractions. And it's like it's fucking like as fucking Hunter S. Thompson or however bullshitty you want to get about it. It's a beautiful thing because like you start to hear and pick up on certain noises, and like if you're someone like me who like will kind of freak out about it, but like I've been freaking out for years about it and still making all the same noises. So at this point, I'm just like, it's fine.
Yeah.
We'll just go till something pops.
That's crazy.
But no, it's nice. It's like I have a lot of friends that, and I ride all kinds of bikes, but like some of my friends that don't ride choppers, like just don't get it.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, well, like, there's this Ducati that has like the best suspension in the world and it's like the lightest bike and it's like the best handling. I'm like, yeah. And that's fucking rad for that. But if I get on this bike, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
It's so far removed from my mind. Like, I'm just going to fucking ride
Yeah.
either solo or with a homie. And we're going to go fucking get ice cream or fucking, hot dogs. We're going to ride like a few hours and get lunch and then ride somewhere else. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not fucking, I don't need to be throwing my knees into like corners and fucking like I'm some professional fucking GP rider. Another one, foil in a wire hanger because an exhaust stud broke. Rode it like that for 1,500 miles before rebuilt.
Oh my God.
That's not bad. Yeah, just a little, it's like a very hefty twist tie. A lot of like old 70s race bikes, they used to keep bolts from backing out. They used to drill holes through them like sideways and run like wire through it and then tie it to somewhere else. So that like even if the vibration rattled the bolt loose,
Still
it couldn't. Well, it's not snug.
Well,
it's
it just
loose.
can't back out.
Yeah. Because at that point, it's like, well, it's gonna run like shit if like these 4 bolts come loose and the head's kind of loose on this bike. But it's not gonna back out completely and send the fucking piston through the gas tank. Let's see. Riding home with the seat and fender attached by only one sissy bar bolt.
Ooh.
So that's fucking, that's another one where it's just like, I hope that ride home was short, but a lot of times like that what happened, the one that I posted about was, I had just gotten my bike back together and it had a fresh chain on it. And over time, like chains, this is on bicycles too, chains stretch and they get looser. So you have to readjust them. Especially the case on like a fresh chain. And I went on a long ass fucking trip up and down the east coast of Florida to go hang out. I lived in South Florida, so I rode up to North Florida to hang out with some homies, and then to Central Florida to hang out with some other homies at like a car and bike show. And then I was riding back. I had the original rear brake line set up on it, and I was like fucking super cool chopper guy at this time, so I had no front brake. And like 150-ish miles from home, I pulled into a rest stop off the highway and started hit my one rear brake pedal, and like pedal just smushed all the way down and the bike wasn't stopping. And I'm like, whoa, that's not good. So immediately I just started downshifting, like engine braking. And I just fucking did some circles in the parking lot until I slowed down enough to fucking Flintstones it with my feet.
What's that fella doing?
But it was wild because it was a fucking Sunday night. I was on my way. I had to work Monday. Yeah. It was a Sunday night at like around. I'll never freaking forget this shit. It's like maybe 6 p.m. Fall-ish in Florida, so it's like it's not hot. It's like 70 something, low 70s, so it's like perfect weather. But it's about to get dark. And I'm on a tiny chopper with like just a headlight and a brake light on the highway. And I have like, maybe it wasn't that far. I'll remember because it was like an hour to get home. I'm like, it's an hour to get home in all of it. I lived right off the highway. I was on 95 going south. And I was like, this is 99% highway riding. So, in my mind, cause I'm like, it's fucking Sunday night. And I would just, like, I have friends with trucks, but I'm like, I don't want to do this to anyone. Like, I'm like, hey, I got a 2-hour round trip, like, for you. You want to come fucking help me pick my bike up into the back of your truck, and then bring me home on the Sunday night? You want to go to bed at like 11 p.m. on Sunday? Yeah.
Thanks for doing this, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I would have paid, but this is like, it was that fucking like that old world, don't fucking be a bitch, never give up in me. That was like, nah, man, you got to figure this out. Oh. So I just fucking, in my head, I was psyching myself up. I was like, okay, it's 99% highway riding. So the only thing I have to worry about is a deer jumping out in front of me or someone cutting me off and fucking ripping on their brakes. Because then I'm fucking doing the cool runnings, like running the fucking sled onto the side of the road and just fucking sliding out. Hopefully that's best case scenario.
Yeah.
Well, no, best case scenario is getting home.
Well, and you can maneuver pretty better on a bike than you were with like a car with no brakes.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
sure. Yeah. So I just fucking rode that bitch home on the fucking highway. Damn. No brakes.
So this might be very novice for everyone listening, but for me, it is also still novice. What is engine braking even?
Engine braking is when you downshift.
Mm-hmm. What's it doing though? It's like
it's causing. So the reason you upshift is because you've reached the full potential of that gear ratio.
Okay.
Like your engine is maxing out, like redlining. Like RPMs is rotations per minute.
Right.
And that's how many RPMs your cylinders are doing inside of the because the cylinders are mounted to a crank, and that's going in a circular motion.
Okay.
So RPMs is rotations per minute.
Yeah.
And like all these vehicles are doing them thousands per minute. That's how hard that shit's working. So when you get to the top range of a gear, you have to shift up so that you give yourself more room for the engine to go.
Sure.
Basically.
Yeah.
So when you to engine brake is you're downshifting, so that you're resetting that RPM. And that's slowing you down because you're going down into like lower gears that they can't go this speed. So you just you let the throttle go and let it slow down, and then downshift it, and it'll slow itself down just through inertia. Now the motor works.
So it is very much it's not like you're not coming to a stop.
You're just slowing.
You're just like adding some drag.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's what I did when I pulled into the rest stop. Because, again, it was a tiny tank on the chopper, so I could only go so far before I needed to refuel anyways.
Right.
I get like about 100 miles to the tank. So, yeah, I was like less than 100 miles from home, about an hour. So I was probably like 60 or 70 miles from home on the highway. So I was just like, well, yeah, I was like, I can engine brake once I get to the exit to get home. And then just fucking like, if anyone got in front of me that whole ride, I just would drop back like a shit ton or get over. Like I just like, just don't let anyone be in front of you. Because if they fucking freak out, or if they're on their phone or some shit causes them to mash on their brakes, I'm going to eat the fucking back of their car.
Right.
Or have to slide out. Yeah. And then that and fucking deers. I was like, if a deer jumps out, we're fucked, baby. Like that's it. It's been a good one. There's nothing I can do about that because I'm not going to have the reaction time for that.
Oh, yeah.
So that was actually the sketchiest part of that, I think. And then, but it was also like, hour on the highway ish. It was kind of calming, because it was that long ride. But then when I got close to home and realized that I had to like fucking get off of an exit, and then it was like a few lights to get to the house. So I was just like,
how many times did you pull your brake just out of like muscle memory and be like, oh shit, yeah, that's right, I gotta fucking.
A good couple times, yeah.
That must
be for sure. So I posted that shit, and enough people just kind of reached out and fucking.
It sounds like we got great engagement on that.
Yeah. I have some more.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Big shout out to y'all for like actually fucking being a part of this.
It's actually a big ask, and you guys came through.
Oh yeah, and then some. And then I asked it again today, and I got a couple other responses.
Nice.
Let's see. This one's one of my. Oh, and then so that throttle one wasn't. There's a homie of Austin Zito's that we did an episode with.
Yeah.
And that happened to him. That's why I thought that was that.
Yeah.
But it's not. Which I reached out to the homie, and he let us know too. He was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "Was this you?" And it was like, "No, but something very similar happened to me." They were riding through, I think in Colorado, if I remember, like through the mountains. Like maybe they were on like $1 million highway in Colorado or some shit. Yeah. And his throttle snapped, and he just fucking rode up and down the mountain, like pulling it manually, like. But that one's fucking dedication, because like he could have turned around and gone home, but he was like, I got to finish a trip with the boys. Like fuck that. Yeah. And I think they ended up going to like some old timer shop and getting it fixed there, and like it was like it turned into a even other rad story from the road. But that homie's gonna be on the podcast too now.
Oh, love
it. Just a couple more. This one's sick. Twisted tea can hose clamped around a 2 to 3 inch hole in my exhaust got me to the nearest motel until a buddy welded me up the next day. That's insane.
That's the coolest one.
I love that one. And then there's, I can post a picture on the Instagram, but I just want to show
No
Grayson.
way.
Just straight up
Yeah.
like, and he sent another one.
Lose
Let me
points
go.
for it being the Twisted Tea half and half, but yeah, like good
No,
effort.
dude, the Arnie Palmy. What?
Nah, I don't fuck with it.
Nah, come
But-
on. Look, just to show, that's the hole. Like
fuck.
2 to 3 inch big hole in the exhaust, and then he just fucking.
Dude, see? What can't Twisted Tea do?
That's what I'm saying.
Smack you
That's what
upside
I'm
the
saying.
head.
Hey, Twisted Tea, sponsor us.
Yeah. Oh my god. I mean,
Twisted Tea sponsor would be fucking tight, dude.
make sure you do a liquid death in between each Twisted Tea to keep yourself from getting a massive hangover. It's
keep
perfect.
yourself hydrated by Liquid Death. We're not legally obliged to tell you anything about them because they just send us free water. But also shout out to Liquid Death for sending us free water. That's really fucking tight and cool, y'all. Let's see something else. Someone said needed new Paul springs in my shovel head and rode home 10 miles with a foot clutch in first gear. So the Paul springs are what when you shift.
Yeah.
So okay, like in a car and we'll just do on for a bike's perspective. Like if this is a shift lever on the side of the engine, and you shift down for down
Right.
and up for up, right?
Sure.
But it always returns to the middle.
I see.
So
It
when the springs go out, it doesn't return anymore.
So you gotta,
So you can't like that's happened to me on my bike a few times where you have to like manually return it to the middle to then shift to the next gear you have to, or you're just stuck in a gear.
Yeah.
And if it gets worse, the worse it gets, like then you can't even. So this person probably couldn't even manually get it back to shift. They were just fucking stuck in fucking what they say first gear, which is the worst. Yeah, stuck in first gear, 10 miles home. That's fucking brutal. Because like we were saying earlier, like you've got to shift up. And
Right.
normally, fucking first gear is just to get whatever vehicle you're in or on moving. Like,
Right.
You usually like pass that shit within the first, I don't know, 10 to 20 miles per hour. You got to shift out of that shit.
So how fast would you be going home if you're just stuck?
20,
Yeah. Oh.
25, depending on your gearing and you're fucking ringing out, your fucking motor's just screaming at you. Yeah.
That would give me anxiety.
This one's great. Throttle cable broke. Another one. Throttle cable broke. So we just wrapped the cable around a stick and just pulled it right by the carb. So like wrapped the fucking cable around a stick right over the carb and just again like manually like fucking pulled on the cable like
That
you're a
sounds,
ventriloquist.
Yeah, it sounds like wand lore right there, dude.
Yeah. That's fucking sick. So that was our little listener segment.
Yeah.
That was rad.
Good job, you guys.
Yeah.
Also,
fucking
like,
shout out to y'all. Give him the fucking horns, producer. Me. Yeah, that was sick.
Fuck yeah, guys.
So yeah, I mean that's all we got for this one. Kind of a little bridge episode. We got some more historical ones coming, or I mean we might just fucking put this one right after, and then get into the rest of the season. But yeah, don't forget to fucking Grayson. Before I do that, any fucking takebacks, apologies, anything you got coming up you want people to know?
I apologize for nothing.
Perfect.
But no, not really. We've been talking about it more. We've been getting into somewhat of a better rhythm. It is still a challenge, but season 3 coming soon or never or
Yeah,
all of the above.
we're just doing it for ourselves. At this point.
Here's the deal.
We're only making memes.
When we put stuff out, consume it.
Yeah. Like share these shits as much as you share the memes.
It's not that hard.
You know, that alone, that's like the biggest thing you can do for us.
I'm talking to myself too. There's a lot of shit I could just be liking that I haven't been liking.
Well, and
So,
I get it too. Like you share memes on the internet with friends.
Right.
You just tell some people about a podcast.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh, I listened to this one podcast. It was kind of cool.
let us help
So
you help us.
that, even if it's just that, if you tell your friends about the podcast, tell the homies about the podcast, that helps us immensely. And fucking like and laugh at the memes and share those too. But yeah,
They're not about you. They're about us.
yeah, they're about all of us. Family. Oh, we need to get like a fucking Vin Diesel family
Yeah.
button.
When you're here at Kickflips and Kickstands, your family.
Damn, you want to go to Olive Garden? Yeah, follow us at Kickflips and Kickstands podcast on Instagram. Follow Grayson at
Grayson Ray Connor at Grayson Ray Connor or feelgoodclub.us.
There you go.
or
Follow me at
fucking
Danny
everything.
Infante on Instagram. We'll fucking catch you on the next one. I love y'all. Share this shit. Help us out. Help me help you. Give you what you want. This is like choose your own adventure radio.
Yeah.
Like,
Or like a dominatrix.
do you not want fucking ads for what?
Who said that?
You not want bullshit ads? Well, we'll just run cool ads, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
For sure.
Let us know. All right.
Love you.
Peace.